Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Hilka Wise Clown. I'm an empath. Started doing these videos 2 years coming up next month. Started out as video diary, still is. It's also grown in concept for me personally, and it's my tube, my channel, so whoop whoop. My tube, my rules. I just like to collect data from all kinds of places, you know. I got a lot of time to do it. Just hang out with my mom. It's winter, so we're staying close to home. Not a lot of motivation to go outside. It's been wet last 3 days, but you know what? It's better than a lot of other places you're faring right now. Yeah, the place we moved from got like 6 inches of snow last night. It was I think they're tired of it, but you know, when I lived there, we had a winter like this, and so I can relate. You know, because I had that experience, I can go back into that heart space, that feeling, those emotions, you know, where I was when I was shoveling my freaking really long driveway. I had a snowblower too, but I had so much energy, I just shovel. Yeah. So, you know, but I think about all the parts I'm missing that are freaking rad too, and those, you know, the quietness, so quiet after a snowfall, especially when it's deep enough that ain't nobody going nowhere. It's a stillness, you know, and people don't even know that they like it until they find it, you know. They don't even realize it. They don't know how noisy life is until all the sound is omitted. Once you find that quietness, it's freaking addicting, man. Like no other drug I've ever done or seen or heard of, you know. I don't know, people are pretty easy to get addicted. I got addicted to alcohol for a while, and, you know, I flashed in, flashed out. You know, I've done a lot. I freaking spent a lot of time, you know, studying the mind of Carl Jung and relating it to mine, and I get what he's talking about. He was a proponent, and pretty big proponent, and some traditions and stuff. So anyway, I was thinking about, since, you know, the season of love is so funny, because astrology, man, whoever came up with that marketing, you know, had no idea of astrology, because you don't put a time of love in Aquarius season, because shit's too weird. It ain't a real love vibey time of season. So anyway, because of that, Valentine's Day and stuff, and all these people in love, but you know, it's less lovey this year. Speaking of love, happy birthday, Obie. 1313, Obie's 13. Obie Dog Journey. He's my little buddy I used to know. He and his person, and she got real mad at me. Tell her I'm not so bad. Maybe stop in there and wish him a happy birthday, and tell him Marge sent you, not so bad. Naughty oak. Anyway, as I sit here petting my cat on my lap. Anyway, love, heartbeat. I was going to be an EKG technician. I study heartbeats. Later I went on to study schematics and electricity when I was in the Air Force, and it came into play. But if you look at a heartbeat, here, let me make it dim. Forgot to make it dim. Make it dim. If you look at a heartbeat, boop, right there, right? A loop. You have the peak. You have a peak, and then you have the dip, right? I always say, mind the dip. And what happens is, picture that in a relationship, okay? You meet, there's a time and space when you meet a person, right? And you connect. And you make the first connection, and it starts to rise, and you feed that connection, right? By how much time you spend with them, how much effort you spend in with them, you know? You connect, you know, you immediately have sex, there's that connection, you know? However momentum, and people just jump in wholeheartedly. My grandparents knew each other 10 days, I think, and then they got married hated each other for years, but whatever. And this is exactly why. Because they didn't mind the dip. See, every idea, every relationship, everything exists. If it is built from a heart space of love, it will succeed. If it comes from a place that is self-serving at all, it will not prosper and it will die. See, I learned a long time ago. Never been in a lot of relationships. Like, I think I'd have to think about it, but I'm 45 and I haven't been with a lot of people. Maybe one hand. Maybe I'll have to, not a lot by comparison. If I were to compare myself to other people my age demographic, I'm a prude because I believe that things are still sacred, and I believe in chakras and energy, and I know the importance of keeping it clean. And I think about how, like in relationships, there are things that we would do, and then I would be disappointed, or it wouldn't pan out, things I'd want to do as a couple, and it just would never quite fit what I pictured in my mind, and then there would be disappointment. Well, that's because I wasn't supposed to live that storyline yet, because I wasn't ready to be that person involved in that relationship. Yeah, because I was too selfish. Because I didn't love myself. I didn't know how. I had no example. I had no example of how to love myself. The way that I need to and deserve and want to be loved. Yeah, not what the scraps that people have given me, See, because I didn't know how to feed my own, self, I would latch on to everything outside of me, everything, and just be your little whipping errand boy. I would embarrass myself and put myself down because it would make people laugh. I was, but however I could add to, but because in your laughter, I'm still adding to you, right? I'm still giving of myself, right? But what I did, because I didn't know how to recognize love, is that, I didn't get the other part that when people love you, they do things for you too. That's where my imbalance has always been. I've always done too much. But what I'm doing is I'm deciphering who the too much are givers to, and then there's more of a balance. See, I think about it. What if more people just took time? See, I have an idea of when I date, there will be no intimacy on a physical level for 90 days. Yeah. Hell, I've gone most of my life. What's 90 days, I remember when I was in basic training in tech school, a lot of people got married and then soon after divorce because they hook up and then they have a constant, source, hit it and quit it, booty call, whatever, and then they decide to want to keep it and then they get married. They don't even know each other. She gets pregnant, they end up going the same base, they're miserable because, they jump right in. See, it was recommended to me to try it, and I tried it once, I half-assed it once. Next time I'll go full board all the way. But, excuse me, it is important to, because if you get to know them, you might decide if people date to see if to spend time with each other to see if they want to keep spending time with each other, and people are so fast to freaking mix body parts and stuff like that, and fluids and all that natural, wonderful, beautiful stuff, whatever. Sex is weird. Really, if you think about it, I prefer to be intimate in other ways. Cooking, fucking rad meal, dude. Fucking cookie, cooking is sexy as shit. Anyway, but think about how much disappointment and heartache and remorse would we could just keep it from ourselves, from just waiting and seeing. You know, let's spend a time together. You know, we'll commit to hang out for a couple hours. You know, then go back and think about it. Well, is that a good time? Is that bad? You know, they analyze the shit out of it like we do. You know, do we want to do it again? Do they want to do it again? All that heady stuff. It's freaking fun. I miss it. It's been freaking years for me. Years. Yeah. You know, so, you know, and that, you know, and if there's momentum that builds in that 90 days, it just makes it all better anyway, you know. But when people just really decided that they like the people that they're with before they ended up with them, then maybe it'll save a whole lot of splitting up for later, huh? Hope you have a rad day. Peace.